teams. Welcome into Division C West here in the Nexus Gaming Series. On the left-hand side, you got US Army Esports, and on the left-hand side, you got Cats on my keyboard. On the right, it will be US Army Esports, and we are going to be seeing, for the side of Cats on my keyboard, Dahaka, Stukov, Sylvanas, Nazebo, Diablo. On the side of US Army Esports, Brightwing, Zagara, ETC, and Anubrek. Man, so many teams this afternoon are just drafting 4 heroes. That's so weird. But either way, let's go ahead and do a Nazebo questing gamble. You got 2 minutes. I think you have 2 minutes. I might have made that shorter. You might not have 2 minutes. You might have 30 seconds. I'm not 100% sure. Get your gambles in, ladies and gentlemen. I might have messed up. So you might not have that long to gamble. So if you want to gamble, do it now. Do it quick. Do it now! Diablo goes in with the Shadow Charge onto the Zagara. She goes down first blood over to the side of Cats on my keyboard. Brightwing gets the phase shift onto Fracture, and that'll be a disengage. Only one going down. There you go. Get your gambles in. There's some odds to be played here, chat. Thank you for the 3 bits. Thank you for the 3 bits. I appreciate it, Ola. ETC up against Dahaka in the top lane. Alrighty. Nazebo going to be doing some double soak, I assume, between mid-bottom to build up those stacks quite quickly. A little lurking arm action out from Stukov. No one freeing Harrison Jones. Bunch of monsters out here. Hey, what's up, Raz? How you doing, bud? Happy Thursday, Raz. Raz, are you ready for the stream tomorrow? Raz. All right, here's your quiz, Raz. You've had 2 days to study. What are we streaming tomorrow morning, Raz? I believe in you. You know this answer. I'm only betting to steal Stark's Bandit Bucks. That's fair. Elden Ring 150%. God dang it. I'm sorry, Raz. We are going to have to, we're going to have to fail you on Friday. We're going to have to fail you in Stream Schedule 101. You're going to have to go back and repeat Stream Schedule 101. It's not theft, it's earned. It's true. By the way, this weekend I am going to get everything organized for the Christmas card and start getting the prints being made for that. I just have to take the picture, but I should have time this weekend to be able to do it. And that way I can send out the prints and have them done while I'm gone on vacation next week. Yes, I'll be gone on vacation next week. I don't like it either, chat. I can't run reruns because of the way that Twitch changed everything. For me to run reruns, I have to literally run them off of my computer. I can't run it off of the Twitch website anymore, which is asinine, but whatever. Resident Evil Village or Vacation, whatever it is. God damn, what am I going to do with you? Oh, what am I going to do with you? Ah, the DLC is going to be so good. I hope. I mean, we'll see how it all goes. I am a little nervous. I am a little kind of worried, trepidatious, to use the same word very often, about the DLC and how it's going to be played. Some of the, like, because they show a little bit of the trailer. Some of it reminds me of, like, what's that game? Life is Strange, where it's more of like a story adventure about like a girl and growing up. It's Resident Evil. I'm not saying that Life is Strange is bad. What I'm saying is that it's Resident Evil, and I don't want Life is Strange in my Resident Evil. I want scary, spooky times. That's all I want. I've never played a Resident Evil game. I think I saw a movie once, but it's not my thing. Okay, first off, forget that you ever saw a Resident Evil movie, because even Welcome to Raccoon City's got its flaws. I love Welcome to Raccoon City, but it still has a couple little flaws here and there. Though I will say it's better than the Paul W. Sanderson movies, because it's at least mildly lore correct. Actually, not even mildly. It's a lot more lore correct than the Paul W. Sanderson ones. The games and movies are strikingly different. Yeah. Welcome to Raccoon City, I would probably say, is your closest representation to a Resident Evil game, because they basically do Resident Evil 1 and 2 at the exact same time, because that's what actually does happen. Resident Evil Zero also is happening at the exact same time, but I don't I don't think they did anything with Rebecca and Billy. I don't remember. I'm gonna rewatch the movie on Halloween anyway, so. But I'm pretty sure they don't do anything with Rebecca and Billy. They also skip over the Chief Irons part from Resident Evil 2, which I'm kind of happy they did. Because it's a little kind of, meh. Oh, Chelsea tried to go for the Haunting Wave back, but didn't activate it, and still makes it out of there alive. I was thinking that ETC would continue applying pressure. What movies? They don't exist, yes. I actually own all of those movies, too. Because it's like, you know, if I want to watch a decent action zombie movie, it's at least that. I saw the Anderson movies. I like the visual, but anything about the lore is entertaining. Yeah, exactly, Raz, exactly. Like, the visuals are cool. The story is very, very, very loose on the, like, actual Resident Evil lore line, but there's some little nods here and there to like some of the creatures, like Wesker, some of the things they're doing. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Honestly, I had a lot of complaints about the movies, but I still exactly, Ninja. I'm right there with you. They're a fun action movie if you take it as such. There's always more to those movies than I think. There's like, what, 6 or 7 of the Mila Jovovich ones? Like, the Paul W. Sanderson, he had like, what? It's like 6 or 7. It's always like, I always forget how many there are. Also, that entire movie line retcons itself constantly in the start of the movies. I took away your powers, Alice. Now I give you your powers back because we're best friends. What are we talking about? The Resident Evil movies. Because I started talking about my excitement for Resident Evil Village, and then I started being like, well, Resident Evil, like, stuff has not been the best lately, and some of the ad stuff for Resident Evil Village DLC kind of reminds me of Life is Strange, where it's like Rose, like, growing and learning to understand her powers. I'm like, just give me zombies and horror and survival. That's it. That's all I want. Like, if you want to build out the character, cool, but just keep the zombies and the horror. I don't know, just put a lot of lore stuff that you can read and just make that the character development. Just give me atmospheric survival horror. That's all I want. That's all I want. Like, do more of Resident Evil 7, less of Resident Evil Village, latter portion. Just don't do another Heisenberg or another Chris portion of the game. Just don't do that. That was just, ugh. Such a departure from what was very, very interesting from Resident Evil Village. And weirdly enough, I actually hear the opposite. I hear a lot of people say the start of the game for Village is a lot more unbearable than the end, and I'm like, it's the opposite for me. But anyways, Badger will get the phase shift from Brightwing, as I'm completely off topic in our best of 3 series here. Isolation connects onto the Dragoon. Sylvanas will go down for burning down a tree. Fracture trying to get away will go down to the flailing swipes of the Stukov, maybe even an auto attack. ETC body block to Oblivion, and that cow is going to be dinner. We got barbecue on the grill. ETC cooked. Zagara will split push in the top lane, though. She does have the Infestation, or Infest at level 1. This is going to be that bonus to the ranged minions. But you get a plus additional 1% per 1,000 siege damage Zagara is dealt. So Zagara right now, does it show anywhere for her? Oh, it does. It just, I didn't see the toggle off. So right now, the current siege bonus damage is 50%. Cool. So it's what, 175% if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, 175% based on that siege. I always forget about the other portion of that infest talent. I always know that it's a buff to ranged minions, but I always forget about the Zagara siege factor. How did Anubarak walk out with 100 HP? He pressed W and lived. Bahamut Gaming, U.S. Army Esports is the greatest champion in the game they're going to win. Okay. Well, we'll have to figure out some bets then. 4-2 in our kills, good back and forth. Dahaka going to be brush stalking up over to this Koala, not in position to get a drag onto anyone. We do have Fracture grabbing this camp for the bottom lane. Nazebo, he's at 102 stacks. He's halfway through. He's a little bit more than halfway through the gamble that we have. We did go higher than normal. We went to 200 instead of the 175. No, Raz is just trying to hurt my feelings here. Zagara does go down. Oh, I think I said the names backwards, by the way, because U.S. Army Esports is on the right. Sorry, my apologies. Off the website, it's set up differently, so my brain just didn't correlate the two quick enough. But either way, U.S. Army Esports on the right. Cat's on my keyboard on the left. Ghost is going to get a healing pathogen instantly popped by Apple. And Camp and Top still pushing in. Oh, I see you're delusional. Thank you, Iron Flare. Thank you. Oh, no, excuse me. Thank you, Ninja. I don't know why. I don't know why my brain did that. I have no sword. You know, but here's the thing. I feel like if you did, that would still also be you. Naziba will fall right now. Not enough spiders to keep him alive. The cocoon onto the Stukov. I do think that U.S. Army Esports will be able to find a double kill here. And Sylvanas on the bottom lane will take down the mid lane fort. She will be able to get the top lane fort before the rotation is even had. So things are looking good here for Cats on my keyboard. ETC gonna get some mid lane shots out. Bottom lane, this actually might be full fort trading because ETC has quite a few shots left on this top lane temple. There's, as I mentioned, the top lane fort to fall. Bottom lane will go down as well. Some good trading back and forth here, but over on the side of U.S. Army Esports, the siege does not stop. And this also is something that, you know, you got a note from the Zagara as well. She's got that extra siege potential. She got another 8% from earlier. So currently sitting at, what, 182%? 83%? 183%, I think it is. You'd have to fight with words like a pleb. There'd be 69-second timeouts everywhere. Who doesn't love a good 69-second timeout? I think it's very healthy. So can we keep talking about Resident Evil stuff? and the lore? I actually think that's what I'll probably do tonight after stream, is I'll sit and watch lore Resident Evil videos. I know most of the lore of the games, but I still like to just listen to it over and over again. Boss? Are we seeing a boss play here? Fire Stomp out from Diablo. Nubrak burrows away. I'm just going to kind of swap between the visions really quickly. Resident Evil needs more Tyrants. Yes. Resident Evil also needs more Albert Wesker. I don't care how sort of, like, gimmicky and kind of weird he was towards, like, through Resident Evil, like, 6 and stuff. I love Wesker. Just, like, you fight him in Resident Evil 6, and he's just... no, Resident Evil 5, you fight him. Yes, in the volcano and stuff. Resident Evil 5, you fight him. Nice Apocalypse, Shadow Charge. That's a lurking arm. Phoenix can't get away. If that's going to be a salvo out as well. Brightwing with the phase shift, but Fracture will go down. Brightwing gets a blink out, and that will be a singular kill. Now, Devouring Maw on a 2. But the Banelings are a little too early, getting a bit of damage. Best unit in StarCraft 2, by the way. Is Ariverse a thing yet? It hasn't been released, but they keep... I honestly think they completely nuked and rebuilt the game because they showed a trailer for the game during the last Resident Evil showcase, and it looked really revamped by comparison of what had been shown beforehand. So I think they're constantly reworking it. And honestly, they should just stop and just focus on making Resident Evil 9. But hey, everyone's got to make a pay-to-win battle royale, or a, you know, everyone's got to make a transaction game nowadays. The Zerg main in me feels pain. Banelings are the best unit in StarCraft 2. Fact, period, end of sentence. So the Resident Evil lore is all linked and continuous in one world. Is it similar, adjacent like Final Fantasy, or their own or is it all contained in the similar games? So it's very interesting the way that, so Resident Evil lore works as such. there are some games which are they are major lore plot points. Resident Evil 1, for example, the Spencer Mansion. The two, you know, Resident Evil 1. Oh, hold on. Let's focus in on the fight right here because ETC will go down. That's gonna be a wailing arrow from Sylvanas. Got a soothing mist from the Brightwing to allow the team to back away. The boss in the bottom lane still pushes up, and there will be the big old slappy ghost from Nazebo expiring right there. So this is good. So like Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 2, they all happen at the same time, and those are major lore points. Like pretty much everything in those games have major lore points for the series. Go look at Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4, where Leon goes to the like he goes to Spain or whatever. And all of Resident Evil 4, the only thing in Resident Evil 4 that is actually part or actually like does anything for the main plot or the lore of the universe is that Ada Wong gets the Ouroboros from Leon at some point during the game, and that's the only plot point in lore. Like everything else is just like, it's just like kind of whatever in the lore. Like saving Ashley, the island, Salazar, all of that, it's like no major plot point. It's super weird. It's so weird how it all like, what lines up and what doesn't. Because you'd think like saving the president's daughter and stuff, like none of that's actually like referenced in other games. It's just kind of like thrown in there. Well, not in other games, but it's just kind of thrown in there. Leon goes to Isengard now? Yes, Leon goes to Isengard. He's looking for the hobbits. Rebuttal. Baha, no. Look. All I'm saying is that if I Baneling rush you, I'll win the StarCraft matchup. Totally. And don't you start saying, all right, 1v1 me, Bahamut, because we don't want to embarrass you like that, nor myself. I actually did say I'm going to play some, we're going to be playing some StarCraft 2 during November and December, and of course we have our little StarCraft 2 tournament. Which it's looking like I'm just gonna grab people from our community. I'm trying to find people of like equalish skill, and I think like Chess, Epic, and Stark are all kind of in the same skill range, I think. But I think it'd also be fun. I think, you know, all community members that know each other as well. Anubrak burrows in. That's going to be a salvo out from the Phoenix. We'll see if he can get any value with that. Doesn't look like much did happen. Diablo is going to get cocooned, hit by the follow-up CC, but Apple is the target. We do have the Cigar going down. The Apocalypse out from the Diablo. Fire Stomps will continue, and Anubrak will get smooshed. ETC going to get silenced by the Lurking Arm, growing infestation. Shrink's trying to get away. ETC gets a Power Slide and a Blink Heal from Brightwing with the Invisible Friends. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, we still have Siege Giants pushing up. Jess and I both agreed that I will only be slaughtering him in the tournament. We'll be turning Chess, but we'll be turning Chess into content. RE4 also has the cringiest line of dialogue in all the games. Wait, which part? Is it the part where Leon goes, huh, women? Or is it the part where Leon goes, huh, women? Or is it the part in Resident Evil 6 where he goes, huh, women? Which part? I'm interested to see what you're going to turn Chess into content. I will give $20 to the winner of Baha Tatsuki Day 1v1 StarCraft. Isn't that like a 1v1v1? Are you saying like we need a three-way? There's no way. That would just be chaos. Is this just gonna be it right here? Oh no, it's not game ending. Sorry, I didn't see how many shots were left on the temple. So it's gonna get some damage, but not game ending. Boss is up in 12 seconds. Archon mode. You know what's funny, Iron Flare? I said the sentence, and then I was like, oh, Archon mode. Yeah, that's right.
The magic of the temple sleeps until I
three-way 1v1v1 would be hilarious. Yeah. That's what I also want to do. Is I want to get like a four-way 1v1v1 v1, I think it is. Anyways, but like no one's allowed to make any sort of truces beforehand. There's no in-game trucing. Like, let's say, like, Stark is attacking Chess and Epic player shows up. Epic player could either join in and help or start fighting in a third war. Like, it could just be really interesting. So, anyways, that's for future content. StarCraft 2 in the future. I want to do more with it. But the boss pit will be played. That's going to be an Apocalypse from Diablo, ETC with the Death Metal. Not Death Mosh. Don't you dare ever call it Death Mosh. The boss Tornado is pushing back Chelsea. There's going to be a good Zagara Devouring Maw. Chelsea tries to step on the point, but it's a touch too late. And the boss will go over to the side of US Army Esports. But meanwhile, I do want to point out, Katas are approaching through mid and bottom. And US Army Esports, they got to go clear. They can't continue to push up any further realistically, in my eyes. You'd still bet I'd win? Aw, thank you. You're a Bandit Bucks? Yeah, he's at 206. You really enjoyed the co-op games in StarCraft 2? Oh, it was really fun to do co-op commanders. That's also something we can visit again in the future too. Pew pew. Pew. Boss doesn't even confirm keep at this rate. Katas are still approaching. Oh, actually, no, I'm wrong. Zagara's gonna get some good siege that will help out. ETC stage dives in. They're all in for this. This is an all-in. Top lane's got 4 catapults arriving. What are you gonna do here? What are you gonna do, US Army Esports? Are you going core, or are you gonna Hellgate forward from Diablo? Nice polymorph from the Brightwing. Core on the right side's going down. Devouring Maw into 2. That's a death metal from the ETC. Diablo goes down, no souls to be reset, but here are those Katas. They're really shredding. Actually, one's on core, dealing about 4% per auto attack. They need to, oh no, they need to not die here.
Team kill.
Pentakill. Haste.
Red team's core is under attack.
I remember when she was playing Warcraft, I could just picture her eyes popping out of her head the whole time. Oh, I'm assuming Tatsuki. The sheer panic that Tatsuki would have trying to build one unit would be hilarious. Oh, poor Tatsuki. Oh, also poor US Army Esports. They will lose the first map in this best of 3 series. It wasn't as bad as the Australian army losing a war to emus, but it was close to it. All right. How many stacks for Nazeebo? Wow, he just made it over that line. He just crossed that finish line. 200 or more. 200 or more. He's at 206. The large flightless birds. Yeah, yeah. The Emu War, also known as the Great Emu War, was a nuisance wildlife management military operation undertaken in Australia over the latter part of 1932 to address the public concern over the number of emus said to be running amok in Campion District in Western Australia. The unsuccessful attempts to curb the population of emus, a large flightless bird indigenous to Australia, employed soldiers armed with Lewis guns. Let's see what a Lewis gun is. Oh, it's the gun with like the rounds on the top and the circular disc. I just closed the tab that had the entire thing. Whoopsie. Leading media to adopt the name Emu War when referring to the incidents. While a number of the birds were killed, the emu population persisted and continued to crop destruction. That is absolutely... There were 2 attempts? I'm just scrolling through and it says the first attempt on November 2nd. And then it just like, you scroll down a little bit further, the second attempt. I need to read this after stream. Holy hell, that looks funny. Imagine having a military that lose to birds. I can't. I absolutely can't. All right, so let's check and see. Let's get everything set up for the next map and see if the players swap sides, because we always love it when players swap sides. My favorite thing. Da-do-da-do. I think China was the only other country that declared war and lost to birds. God dang birds. All right, let's see. Badgers on the right, so that's the same. We have, let's see, Cats on my keyboard, up 1 in this series. Best of 3 series we got going on right now. Let's see, what do we got here for our next map? Is there any fun prediction things I can do for this, or do we just maybe skip predictions for a game? Oh, there's a Vala Q build. Let's do a Vala Q build. Vala Q build, Battlefield of Eternity, Division C. Let's make it interesting. Let's make it interesting. How many Vala level 1 stacks? 69 or more? 68 or less? Why not? Let's make it a meme. Let's have fun with it. Australian wildlife is no joke. Apparently can beat humans in war. Yeah, absolutely. Be careful waging war on with birds. Multiple times in human history, emperors, kings wage wars against sparrows and other birds to protect crops, only to be swarmed by locust birds that the birds were keeping away. Interesting, interesting. Hanosaurus Rex, how you doing? I hope I got your name right. Maybe I'll just call you Han. I think we're good. I think we're all set. We're ready to go. I don't think we're going to have any ads that will pop up during the game. I'm pretty sure. Hopefully I don't. And, oh, we did have some bits during that game. Here you go. Thank you for the biddies. As always, if you're enjoying the stream, I hope you hit the follow button. If you'd like to support the stream further, it's always much appreciated. But either way, let's go ahead and get into the games. On the left-hand side, we got the members of Cats on my keyboard with a Dahaka, Stukov, Vala, Li Ming, and Muradin. Over on the side of US Army Esports, we're going to be looking at a Whitemane, Sonya, Joanna, Varian, and Hanzo. So let's go ahead and start our prediction. The Vala will be going into Q build. She's going to be going into the Puncturing Arrow level 1. So we're going to see how much stacking she'll get for that Hungering Arrow. And there's going to be that Puncturing Arrow, as I mentioned. You get 6 extra damage per. So how many stacks will she have by the end of the game on this? Will it be 69 or more, or will it be 68 or less? There's High King's Quest for the variants. We'll see what he goes into at level 4. But either way, until then, let's take a look at those talents and the level 1, excuse me, the first engagement. And you still have a good minute 45 to get your gambles in, ladies and gentlemen. Hiking Quest. Yeah, he's got to do the Tahoe Rim Trail. All 90, is it 90 some miles, I think, around the... No, that feels way too small, but either way. That is a real thing. We have the Tahoe Rim Trail. I think I talked about this, yes, we talked about this earlier this week. Very, very pretty, though. There's like a lot of, like, segmented sections of it that you can do. I actually had a friend recently, it, like, took her 5-6 years, and she... did little chunks by chunks, but she finally did the entirety of the trail. I feel like it's only as fitting to spend 69 points on a 69 prediction. That's fair. It's very fair. I can't blame you whatsoever on that one. Minute into the game, and we're looking at 2 stacks on the Vala. Hanzo still working on his simple geometry, 4 on that one. Stormbolt from Muradin, not going to be connecting right there, but a little step up from him. Does have the block stacks at level 1. Isn't that 4 block stacks? Yes, it is 4 charges a block. Over in the top lane, Sonya pushing real hard into the Dahaka, getting some initial siege onto that fort front gate. Things are looking good here for the members of US Army Esports, at least in the top lane. Bottom lane, it's pretty equal between the 2 teams. Okay, cool, yeah. Sorry, I was just double checking that no ads were going to go off during the game. Phew. I had like a little message from my Twitch ad manager, but it's for something else, and I was like, all right, cool, we're good. Sonic Arrow to scout out. Simon taking a bit of damage on that Whitemane. Popping some Zeal onto allies. There will be a Lurking Arm from Stukov. No Growing Infestation, so he can just sit there and leave it out forever as he's got the low blow level 1. Right? Yes. Alrighty. What are we looking at through... Oh my god, Fracture is still just constantly pushing up against this... Dahaka, and one tower will fall. Good solo lane pressure coming out from our Sonya player. I really got to say, that is dominant against the Dahaka, which I feel like is not always the case. I feel like Dahaka clears pretty good against the Sonya. She is going to go slam at level 1, that Furious Blow. We will see Shot of Fury at level 7, or level 4, but you also have the, after casting Seismic Slam, your next basic attack deals 40% more damage. Something you can see Slam, Auto. Ooh, you can also see Poison Spear fits pretty well into this for the damage buff as well. Now I'm waiting patiently. Ooh, Colossal Smash Variant. I did miss it for a level there. My apologies. Sledgehammer for the Murden at level 4, so he's going to have more race potential. I've moved off of Sledgehammer quite a bit in my own games for reverberation value, because of just the level 10 factor of just getting your avatar back faster and faster. Spearing from the Sonya, that's going to be a Colossal Smash, and first blood over to the side of US Army Esports. That also will be 1 stack for the Varian on the High King's Quest. Or not 1 stack, but 1 of the 5 takedown stacks. There you go.
Be warned, allies. I move to new ground.
8 stacks for the Valo right now. Ooh, we actually had some pretty nice betting between you all on this one. Sonic Arrow once again out from the Hanzo. That is going to be a big Arcane Orb over the wall from the Li Ming. I'm assuming we'll see Seeker in about a level or so for her. Probably Mirror Ball a little bit later. That's my expectation. Good scatters into the corridor from Hearthcliff. Ooh, wait, Badger getting very low here on the Jonah. Throws out a Shield Glare. We do have the Sonya on the right-hand side racing, but there's no way she's going to be able to beat out all the poke damage onto this Immortal. So we do have a Larian going into, I believe, the top lane, right? Top lane, the most well-defended lane, as bottom lane has already taken some damage from that pre-siege before. We already got Stukov rushing to top to grab the experience for his allies. Still, 1 kill over the side of US Army Esports. They do have a little bit of experience advantage, but we'll see how that looks after the Immortal push. The Immortal dealing quite a bit of damage, actually. Did I catch him? I don't think I did.
To me, mortals.
So he's a little bit more than 1,000 something. He's actually nearly 1,100 damage into structures right there. 546 standard. The 7 talent tier is going to be here with this wave. Sonya getting some spin value as well. What's Sonya going to take at 7? It is going to be that Poison Spear, so my expectation is going to be Leap as well at level 10. Leap, Spear, Slam, Auto. Great damage to come out from the Sonya. All I really got to say in all of that is you want to slam before you auto, but you could see Leap, Slam. I personally like, the way I do it is it's Leap, Spear, Slam, Auto, and you can probably cycle in some autos in between all of that, but it's just smash the button, smash the face, and hopefully you win the engagement. Top lane Fort is going to survive right now. We've got about a half a level lead to the side of US Army Esports, which is kind of funny, as they have only a kill advantage. Where is this experience gap formed? Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the damage, healing, and experience between these two teams as we wait for 10 talent here as well. Figure out where this little deficit has formed in a second or two here. First, we're going to look at the damage numbers, as we do have the camp to be grabbed. Is there an invade? Ghost looking for some damage over the far side of the wall. That is going to be Red stepping in on the Murden, lurking on from the Stukov with the growing infestation, so it's not a permanent channel, and the camp will be stolen away. Alright, we should jump into our next set of experience. So, Mercenaries, its minion experience is actually like an 800 or so, 1,000 or so difference. And that's leading this nearly 1,000 difference in experience. It's very close now, of course, because the camp invade, but either way, like, I was a little surprised to see that just off the heroic kill. But Minion Soak looks like it was picked up a little bit more so from the Sonya or Varian, as Varian's actually down in the bottom lane up against Dahaka. I do want to check on the High King's Quest while we're kind of chilling out here. He's got 18 auto attacks out of 50. He's got 1 out of 5 takedowns, as we already saw earlier, and Globes 11 out of 15. Really good on the Globes right there. That's a lot of early game Globes about 7 minutes in. I always feel like the Globe one is the second hardest, the first being the getting the 5 kills. I think that's probably the hardest out of all of them. And more Globes through this lane, so Varian should be done with that first chunk, or at least the gather 15 Globes, so he'll have the 10 extra damage. It's 60 at the end, right? Completing the quest grants 10 base damage, completing all 3 quests grants an additional 30 base damage. So it's 60, right? It's 30 per quest and then another 30 for the finish. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if the tooltip says it.
I must find another way.
No. Camp over here on the right-hand side grabbed. We got a little bit of experience for that level 10. This camp will bolster that. We do have a rush onto the Immortal. This race is going to go quick, and I think by the time this mistake has been made, they'll realize it a little too late. Actually, no, the US Army Esports will be able to step onto this, but I don't think there's a way that they actually deny the Immortal. That's a very healthy Immortal over to the side of Cats on my keyboard, but Murden goes down. Arrow from Hanzo will connect. Bless Shield from the Joanna. They wanted this kill on the side of US Army Esports, and they will find it. Also going to be seeing the Divine Reckoning from the white main. 75-second cooldown after 1 second. Consecrate an area for 4 seconds, dealing 74 damage every 0.5 seconds. So that's going to be basically 150 damage for 4 seconds, or multiply that by 4. And, well, it actually changed right now, but it doesn't matter. And then enemies inside, the enemies inside, and 25% of the damage dealt to heroes is returned as mana. Little Rain of Vengeance out from the Vala, clearing out this top lane. The Fort Front Gate has fallen. The Immortal will be cleared out through bottom. And the tension continues between these two teams. 0-3 in kills. US Army Esports leading in a near-level lead here. There's that one chunk of High King's Quest done for the Varian. Murden with the heavy impact, so I'm assuming he'll go Dwarf Launch at 16. Get the cooldown reduction by landing on enemy heroes, as well as the 80% slow for, what is it, like 0.75? 1.5 seconds. Vala, by the way, 15 stacks currently. All right, okay. She's what, a less than a quarter of the way through? She's like a fifth of the way through or so. There's probably a better fraction breakdown, but either way. Arrow gonna connect on, oh my god. Joanna. Or excuse me, the Li Ming right there. The Joanna did have a Blessed Shield, didn't connect, but it doesn't matter. There's going to be the Divine Reckoning. Simon going to get dragged by the Dahaka Isolation. Going to go a little wide right there. Red still with the Avatar. Going to have some healing denied onto the Murden with the Sins Exposed level 7. But during all this, Sonya slamming, jamming, working her way through top. The fraction you're looking for is a 16th of 69 of the way done. Thank you, thank you. So it's a 16th of 60. I don't even know how to say that fraction. Like, my brain just kind of stalls out on that one either way. Koala going to be able to get the Lurker Strain knockback and able to back away. 16/69ths. Just fake engineer guy. Immortal coming in. Li Ming actually, did she just use Wave of Force to push people around the Immortal area? That's kind of interesting. Not sure about that one. Badger mounting up. Badger, I gotta be a little critical, bud. You walked out and back into the stun. You know what? Badger's just trying to pad the CC stats. Like, yo, dude, I got CC'd so much. Where is it? Where's the CC'd? There you go. Oh, wait, no, that's actually the enemy CC'd. Leap in from Sonya. That's going to be Chelsea very low. The Flailing Swipes might have just saved the moment. I think they actually did, but the Murden will go down still. Dahaka chucks out an Isolation, not connecting onto anyone, and this will be the Immortal over the side of US Army Esports. Drag from Dahaka. Sonya getting a spin out. She will be having the Ruth at level 13 right there. 13 up. Also coming in for Cats on my keyboard. Here comes Big Bad Bella through the bottom lane. Oh god, the numbers. Look at the chat. 690 attack damage. Standard. Very nice. 1,380 into structures. What's up, ISO? How you doing today, bud? So we do have a split siege here. Actually, complete split siege. Varian just chilling in bottom lane with his two-handed sword. We got the top lane for it to fall. I actually do like this call from US Army Esports. Since the enemy team is distracted, and yes, not a lot of value from Belith did come through the bottom, this is going to be Periodic Catapult to match Periodic Catapult through the top lane. Though I say all that, bottom lane fort might fall. Shrinks is just going to chill out saying, you know, I can't really step up here. That might just be my death. But Red has the armor reduction. Big arrow connecting onto Koala. We think Lurker Strain going to get the knockback. Joanna is going to be... Is there a Blessed Shield? It actually goes out just as the leap comes through. Varian comes in with that... Ooh. With that Colossal Smash, and the Vala and the Dahaka go down. 18 stacks in the Vala right now. Believer's got to be a little worried, I'm not going to lie. Got to be a little worried on that one, Believers. Ghost is going to be able to blink around here, just trying to get some healing and just chilling out. Nice and easy. Bottom lane camp grabbed. 1 second on the Vala, she will respawn. Level 16 just about to be here for US Army Esports. And the siege continues. Next Immortal phase will be in the defensive positions. You'll have Belith on the right and Alarian on the left. Yes. Because we always see naturally for the blue team, so shield being their own. And if we were to swap visions, this would turn into axes, as you can see on the minimaps. There you go. Okay. 20 stacks for the Vala. The tissue regeneration for the Dahaka is almost done. Varian finished another stack of High King's Quest. Now, was it the kills or was it the autos? I feel like it was the kills, actually. Yeah, he still needs to get his... He still needs 17 autos onto the enemy. Badger looking to step in with the Blessed Shield. Arrow from Hanzo to follow up. Great leap from the Sonya. Beautifully layered CC combo coming out from the side of US Army Esports. Really, really love the way that they layered everything. It wasn't just all the buttons pressed at once. It was Blessed Shield, Arrow, Leap. There was a little bit of a delay in between everything to just chain lock in that Vala, and that will be the first half of the Immortal phase going over to the side of US Army Esports. Vala getting dunked on, I know, right? It was looking promising early game for her stacks, but it has really fallen behind now as the Immortal will be burned down. It looks like this is going to be some shielding to be removed from by the members of Cats on My Keyboard, but US Army Esports get this Immortal, it will go into bottom lane. Belith to bottom once again. And Belith is dealing 1,604 damage into structures, 802 standard. That poor Vala right there, god dang. Absolutely just shredded in place. Top lane will be 16 talent tier for the members of Cats on My Keyboard. How much can they get with this? This is a really big Immortal for the bottom lane. I say guarantee keep front gate. Maybe even on to keep, but it really depends on how much poke siege US Army Esports goes for. Look at this. We have Hanzo's really the only one poking at structures. There you go. You got Fracture stepping in as well. I was about to say, a little too trepidatious here from the side of US Army Esports. They can be a bit more aggressive. Arrow from Hanzo. That's going to be the Dahaka burrowing away. Flailing swipes out from the Stukov. The Immortal getting good damage onto the keep through the bottom lane, but you can already see US Army Esports, they will not stick around. They get 50% of the keep, they get the keep front gate, and that's the back away. 10 seconds on the siege camp for the bottom lane. So they're feigning that they're going to this camp. We know that. But they're not. Okay, I thought they were going to step in the corridor, but not the case. Camp will be grabbed really quickly, and I think we're just going to see a trade. Did they just get seen through the rotation? I don't know. I don't think they actually got seen in the rotation. Neither team, actually. Hearth's out immediately from the top area. Dahaka is going to show in wave as the bottom lane push will be coming through. Elite Blessed Shield. The only thing down right now on the side of US Army Esports is going to be the arrow from Hanzo. Li Ming with a wave of force. Stormbolt from Murden going to go wide. Lurking Arm from Stukov will be into the wave to get a little bit of wave clear, and Vala poking out with another Hungering Arrow. 8 kills for the side of US Army Esports. Looking good here in map number 2 in our second best of 3 of the day. But can they hold on to this lead? Will there be one of those kind of momentum shifts against them? We'll have to find out very soon. The Immortal phase should be announced quite soon as well. It's a pretty low cooldown from when the Immortal falls to when we get the announcement. I believe it's a 1 minute 30 timer. I think it's 2 minutes total. Red steps in. That's a Stormbolt onto the Varian. Huge leap in from Sonya. Arrow followed up by Hanzo, and Vala goes down once again in the engagement. Flailing swipes out from Stukov. Isolation does connect onto the Joanna, but I don't think she really cares. Badger's still kind of chasing in. No, okay, that'll be the end of that. Immortal phase going to be spawning soon. Fracture and Crew going to grab a tap onto Well. Almost everybody getting their Well tap here. Everybody? Everybody's drinking from the well. The race potential side for US Army Esports in this northern position, and they're set up for it. Let's see what they're able to do. Vala's dead. She's the big race potential. We do have Li Ming. No Seeker Missile from Li Ming, but she does have the Mirror Ball level 16. I feel like you definitely want the Seeker at level 7 here for this map, but regardless, still have the Aether Walker value as well. 50%, and it's a pretty close race between the two teams. Dahaka gonna burrow away. That's gonna be an isolation. Oh no, okay, I thought it was isolation level 20. I thought I saw CC onto everybody. But it was just the knockback from... It's just the knockback from the Lurker Strain level 4, if I'm not mistaken. Vala's back over here. We've got defensive positions for the Immortals. We'll take a look at the APM, everyone's favorite stat that does not actually correlate to anything in the game. Leaps available for Sonya, Arrow from Hanzo, Divine Reckoning for the White Mane as well. And, oh, drag from Dahaka does not connect. He does have Tumbling Claws for the extra speed, so no elongated tongue. We are going to see some pings on this camp. Now, last time the members of US Army Esports went for a camp, they lost the Immortal race. Can they actually speed through this? Li Ming going to be throwing out a little bit of damage. Camp is grabbed. Was this greedy? Bless Shield from the Joanna, Arrow from the Hanzo does connect, Leap in from Sonya, and that is a great kill onto Stukov. No healing coming out for the side of Cats on my keyboard for the next 50 seconds. Muradin 250, he's got 50 HP, and the scatter can't connect. Joanna's gonna get cleansed with the intercession of Simon, and this will be the Immortal going over to the side of US Army Esports into top lane. We know this because bottom has already lost the Keep front gate, and the Keep's taking some damage here in top. Not the case. Looking at Belith once again. Checking those stats. 926 standard damage. That's nearly 2,000 damage into structures. And US Army Esports, they're going to make the same play they made before. They're going to go for the split push. They're going to guarantee themselves a keep through bottom. But was this too early? The enemy can respond to this, and there's tower shots onto the Sonya. Stormbolt from Muradin does connect onto Varian. The keep in bottom lane very low, but that top lane response has to be had. So this will be the bottom lane keep falling. Now, how do they play this? Do they look for some sort of flank into the enemy as the Immortal pushes in, sort of a pincer? Or are they going to look for just the big old safe rotation? Seems like it'll be the safe rotation, and you can actually see there's a brief second where I think it was Joanna showed on the mini-map, but either way, 20 talents here, leap in from Sonya. We've got those 20 talents on top of everything. Radiating Faith for the Joanna. She pops that on top of the leap of Sonya. Level 20 for the Divine Reckoning as well. You've got the Judgment Day. Divine Reckoning deals 50% more damage and pulls enemies to the center first time it hits them. So the top lane keep remains at 50%, and US Army Esports are holding on to a solid lead here, but what are they going to do? Are they going to let that 20 slowly be achieved by the enemy, or will this be an invade onto a bottom lane camp? Because that's the only sort of thing left on the map to do as we kind of look at the two visions between the two teams. Vala at 27 stacks. Ghost on the Li Ming tries to throw a little bit of damage out, pushing back a Badger a bit, but you got the glory to the Alliance as well, so everyone's getting extra healing from the White Mane. Such a really good talent at level 20 for just the bolster for healers. The next objective phase, I did not look at when the Immortal goes down, but if I'm not mistaken, we should be hearing an announcement for it fairly soon. Bottom lane camp. Just checking vision between the two teams really quickly. Sonya's showing in lane. There's that little radius from the scouting arrow of Hanzo. Badger's in the bush. That's going to be Reddin's crew just zoned away as the camp does not go over. Or excuse me, Cats on my keyboard cannot invade the camp in time. Alrighty. So what now? Immortals go into defensive positioning, so you already see the setup on the left-hand side. We do have the level 20s to the side of Cats on my keyboard. You've got... Ooh, look at this. Everyone's in the bush. Shh. Is everybody in the bush? Yeah, there's 5 little eyes.
And all your servants in hell will cower before.
I'm just looking at the two visions really quickly between the teams. Okay, so they don't find the gank that setup that they're looking for. I think the expectation was US Army Esports was like the enemy will defend. Bless Shield from the Joanna. Oh, the dunk onto Vala again. Apple Solo is going to be going down. Red pops the Avatar, getting the Dwarf Toss out. Will this be enough? You get the rewind to get out of there. The arrow, the scatter does not connect the angle he was looking for. We got a Li Ming, Dahaka, and a Muradin to defend this first phase of the Immortal. 47-50 seconds between the Vala and the Stukov, as this first half will go down quite quickly. Be very quiet. I'm hunting cats on my keyboard. Immortals in the north-south positioning, and looks like Hanzo read everything nice here. Just gonna be able to start getting it. He's gonna start out with a scatter immediately, and the race is gonna go right through this. This will be the Immortal going into which lane? I believe it goes in the bottom, or it just flips a coin. I'm honestly not sure at this point in the game. The theory would be that it would go into bottom since it's the least pushed out lane, but I honestly don't know. I think it just flips a coin, to be honest, at this point in the game. That, or it goes to the... Oh my god, the read! And Leap, Bless, arrow combo. Not even the arrow was used there. The combo that the US Army Esports put together here was absolutely beautiful. Can we talk about how Varian's still not done? He still needs 9 auto attacks. How have you not auto attacked 9 times? Whoa, 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 whoa. White Mane, Joanna, they go down. I'm sitting here screaming about level 1s, and Shrink is gonna go down as... What the hell is happening? I'm sorry, but how are you not done with the auto attacks? That feels like the easiest portion of the quest to do. I'm not trying to flame the player, I'm just curious. No flame intended, just how?
Team kill.
I can't believe it's not over yet. I can't believe it's not over yet. I literally cannot believe it's not over. 78% off the core, 22 remains. All 5 members wipe. All right. Vala's got 30 stacks. She's nearly halfway through the bet. You can't believe it's not butter? What's up, Wildfire? I don't think I've had that butter. Like, I'm trying to remember. I don't think we had that butter in the household when I was a kid. We had the Lando Lakes. That's what we bought a lot of. The Lando Lakes. It's not butter? Wait, it's not butter? But I can't believe it's not butter. What is it, actually? I've had vegan butter, by the way, and vegan butter is just boring. Sorry, vegans. A lot of your food is not very tasty. It's kind of just bland. I got nothing against vegans, but I just don't really care for a lot of their foods and meals. I think it's just some sort of kind of processed oil spread. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, not a lot left on the core over here. If the Immortal does get... If US Army Esports does win this Immortal, then I think this is going to be GG. But we'll see. 25 minutes in. Good check in the bush on the Badger. There's a big difference between vegan substitutes and proper vegan food. My neighbors know how to cook. Like, they've been vegan for a long time, and like I would say that they even with all the spices and everything that they can do, I still just like it's not the same. The big thing, so the thing is, it's not only seasoning, but it's texture. And a great example of this is like vegan chicken, like vegan chicken nuggets and stuff. You can sell me on that all day. I am 100% on board. I will eat those cauliflower chicken nuggets or whatever, because I literally, like, I couldn't tell the difference. Like, I've gotten like what would be like a crispy chicken sandwich but vegan like version, and I really like couldn't tell. I could not tell you the difference, taste wise, texture, all of that. But I've gotten like vegan sausage patties, like what's supposed to be like a sausage McMuffin from like McDonald's, like the copy of that. The vegan sausage, it's like chewing on rubber. It's like the texture is just not there yet. I don't know about vegan hamburgers, but I would argue it's probably the same thing. It's very much a texture thing. My favorite thing is also when I talk to vegans, they're like, "Oh, dude, this is just like a cheeseburger." I'm like, you haven't had a cheeseburger in 15 years. Sorry, your basis for this claim is not something I follow. I respect you, but I'm like, no, bud. Yeah. Not everything's perfect, but I will say this. If you ever have the opportunity to do, like, a vegan chicken sandwich, do it. It's very good. Like, all the ones I've had, I have no complaints. Like, I've never had, like, a vegan chicken something, and I've been like, God, I wish I had the real thing. It's honestly, like, I definitely would recommend it if you would like to try it. The tendies are so good. They're so good. My mom is vegan and makes very good yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Mexican food is a very good example of that. There's so much you can do with, like, the, oh god, the T, there's an abbreviated thing that a lot of people use. Oh god, I'm blanking on it, but either way. It's like enrich something. Anyways, like, I've gone to, like, taco nights and stuff, and like, you know, they can do taco meat pretty good, but it's how you season it, and either way, it still boils down to texture at the end of the day for me. It's because everything tastes like chicken. Not everything. Not my ribs don't taste like chicken, that's for sure. Li Ming and Muradin are trying to just slow this down, but ooh, arrow not going to be connecting. So I think it's like the first arrow in this game not to connect, but red goes down before Avatar fully activates. Immortal's on core. I don't think Vala even stops this, actually. Maybe she does? No. I think this is just kind of... Everyone's playing at recess, and Vala's the only one trying to do so. Either way, GG over to the side of US Army Esports. We head to a map number 3. Well played. Doesn't even queue the Immortal. I thought she did. I thought she did really quickly there. Either way, how many Vala level 1 stacks? She had 32, so that's 68 or less. Gotta emphasize that extra S I accidentally put in there. 68 or less. You know it doesn't taste like chicken? Meat, which I'm defrosting in the fridge today. Oh, I'm gonna eat them tomorrow after stream for lunch. Oh, I can't wait. Some little sausages, some French fries. Oh, I'm gonna make some toast with it as well. Mmm. God, I can't wait. If you'd like to Google what I'm talking about, M-I-C-I, and then type, you probably need to type in like sausage or Romania. M-I-C-I. Meat. Delicious little sausages. You're making some fried chicken and rice tonight? Nice. Are you using like oyster sauce and stuff for your fried? Are you doing like a wok sort of thing, or how are you doing it? I bought a little bit of oyster sauce to use here and there for when I do stir fry, but lately I've been on such a curry kick that I haven't even been cooking like stir fry at all. Because I have that rice maker. I don't know if you guys saw when I did the last cooking stream this past Sunday, but like I have a rice maker, and like it's so easy to make rice with that thing. So, and then rice is just such an easy thing to eat with so many different meals. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading to a map 3. It's not a 2-0. It's not a 2-0. Wow, how are we already 2.5 hours into stream? Man, today has been a fun day of stream. It's been just a nice cozy day of streaming. I made yesterday vegetable oils. I'm gonna reuse the. Wait, what did you make yesterday? Was ist das? Stop typing. There we go. Mexican. Oh, I want it. I want it. I want it on my face. Oh, I want it on my face, around my mouth hole. Oh, they're kind of like elephant ears, but maybe more crispy. That looks so freaking good. Let's see. Water, a skillet, cinnamon. What is this? I don't even know what this is. This is how I do. I have never had this fruit before. I have never had this before. Looks kind of interesting. Well, I wonder what it tastes like. Let's see. Guava. Oh, it's just guava. Okay, sorry. I don't think I've actually ever had like guava on its own, to be honest. You made tofu stir fry last night, debating on making it again today. You should do that, Tree Leaf. You should do that. You should. Do it again. I'm making butter chicken with basmati rice and naan bread tonight. I've never made my own naan bread. Should try and do that. So, by the way, for the November cooking stream, I'm going to think of a couple different ideas and let you all vote on what we're going to do. All right, the players didn't swap sides. You had Eggos? Dude, Eggos are great. Eggos are great. Don't put ... after your Eggos. Eggos are a deliciously good breakfast. I eat Eggos from time to time. The buttermilk waffle Eggos? Oh, you make a couple sausages. So what you do is you get the Farmer John sausages. You make like 2 of those. And then what you do is you take the Eggo and you heat it up in the not microwave brain. Come on. You heat it up in the toaster and then you put a little bit of syrup on it. You put the sausage in the middle, which by the way, you flatten on the pan a little bit so it's a little bit longer, and then you fold the Eggo like a taco, and then you have a little Eggo sausage taco. Oh, it's so good. I'm very I'm not the biggest person on like the sweet and savory, but God, does that combo work so good together. Sausages with syrup and like just the regular pork sausages, like not the maple ones, but regular pork sausages, breakfast sausage with Eggo and syrup. Oh, and that good syrup, that good syrup that comes in the glass container. If you like your log cabin, that's fine, but give me the maple syrup that comes in a glass container, because you know it's better. You miss Eggos? They need to make a gluten-free version? I'm surprised that there isn't one with how popular gluten-free stuff is. Gluten-free Eggos. Eggo gluten-free original waffle, 9 count, Kroger. Bro, Jade, they got it. Eggo's got it. I just Googled it. Eggo gluten-free original waffle, 8 count. Gluten-free original. It says it on the box. It says you can get it from Kroger, which if you don't know, I know it's big in the East Coast. Like I know there's a ton of Krogers in Michigan. If you can get it at Kroger, you can probably get it like anywhere online. I'm running to Kroger now. Bye, Jade. Hey, by the way, before you go, could you just drop off your Prime Gaming really quickly? If you don't mind just dropping off that Prime Gaming and then you can run to the store. I kind of want another cup of tea, to be honest. But I also don't want a cup of tea because I'm like, I want to be as tired as possible tonight so I can sleep through the night and get to Resident Evil Village tomorrow. Sure? I'm sorry. Did you guys know that if you have Amazon Prime, you've got Prime Gaming? Did you know that, chat? And you can subscribe to your favorite Twitch streamer, me, every month with Prime Gaming for free. It's free subs, ad-free viewing, great emotes, and, I mean, you support Bandit. Who doesn't like supporting Bandit?
Wow, Amazon Prime gives you free subscriptions to your fav Twitch streams.
Fav Twitch streams, lol. Jade, thank you for the Prime Gaming. Thank you for this delicious, delicious fish that Bandit and I will be eating tonight for dinner. Actually, tonight's dinner is going to be ramen and a turkey club. Or just a turkey sandwich, whatever I feel like doing. But either way, thank you for this gigantic Prime Gaming. I very much appreciate it. Your Prime Gaming gets you a raffle ticket, by the way, into the Baja Ross giveaway that's happening this Saturday, October 29th. You can see all of those entry tickets on the Bandit camera. Look at all those entry tickets. You could be one of those. By the way, as a reminder, right before we get into this game, I'm just going to do another Zebo stacking quest thingy. Before we get to this game, there is going to be a free raffle ticket on the day of the painting. So, due to like gambling laws and stuff like that, I have to have a free way of getting a ticket, which that's no big deal for me, honestly. But we always do it on the day of the painting. So, on October 29th, if you want to get an extra ticket in for free using your channel points, I believe I set it to 420 channel points, which is not easy. It's not hard to get to that point in a stream by just watching. But if you'd like to use your channel points on the day of the painting, please do come by and use that. I put it on like a 1-minute cooldown, so it just, I don't know if I can actually make it less than a minute cooldown, but either way. Prime Gaming. We did get one Prime Gaming, so I am happy about that. So yeah, it's very, very nice. We got that Prime Gaming. I also realized I need to change the sub goal Let's make the sub goal really... let's make the sub goal a little bit more achievable. I think 49 subs right now is a little much, especially seeing as how we've had 1 sub this stream. Let's see. My overlays, total subs. Let's make this our favorite number, everybody. Well, I think it's our second favorite number. There we go. Something a little bit more reasonable, more achievable. And let's go ahead. As I said, let's get into the game. I will start a Twitch prediction once I introduce the teams, because on the left-hand side, you got the members of Cats on My Keyboard, Sonya, Rhaegar, Vala, Nazebo, and Muradin. Over on the side of U.S. Army Esports, you've got a Stukov, Sylvanas, Anubrak, Blaze, and Junkrat. Now, Nazebo, we're going to be doing the same thing we did earlier today, which is going to be how many stacks for Nazebo by the end. Now, we're on Tomb of the Spider Queen, so I'm going to leave the gamble exactly as it was beforehand. Hold on one second. Let me just delete this. Hold on one second. Start prediction. How many stacks for Nazebo by end? Oh, I thought it wasn't on a 2-minute cooldown, or I thought it wasn't counting down correctly. Okay, there you go. Gambles have begun. Gambles are open if you'd like to gamble on how many stacks Nazebo will have on Voodoo Ritual by the end. It does not matter what level 20 he takes. Technically it does, because he could take the one that reduces the Voodoo stacks to be able to get self-cleansing. We'll get to that point at the end of the game, potentially. But either way, you got about 2 minutes or a minute and 30 to get your gambles in on how many stacks Nazebo will get. This is Tomb of the Spider Queen. And it looks like there is a Sonya on the team, so he should be Ghost in the double soak rotation position. So he should, the Nazebo, grab a lot of these stacks. Also, Cavalier, I was watching you play some Resident Evil 4 last night. God, that game, like, honestly, Cav, that game, it's where Resident Evil kind of started, like, falling off as that survival horror and became, like, action horror. Because you have, like, Resident Evil 4, and then Resident Evil 5 really becomes action horror, and then 6 is just an action movie, I would say. And then you got 7 coming back with all the survival horror, and then 8 kind of starts to fall off towards the end, in my opinion. Heisenberg's Factory, the Chris section, it all just kind of falls off as that really atmospheric horror that they created early on in the game and throughout 7. But either way, and even then, 7's kind of a cheesy end as well, if you really wanna kind of get into the nitty-gritty of it all. Ola, thank you for the 3 biddies. Much appreciated. The last part of 4 started the turn. Yeah. 4 kind of starts with a little bit of that, like, survival horror thing. Like, you're in the village, there's the chainsaw dude, but, like, as you get to, like, I think, like, once you get, like, halfway through the game at least, things really start to transition into that action horror, which is, like, I will say this, like, I think Resident Evil 4 was the first Resident Evil I beat like, on my own, no help from a friend or my brother. Because I was one of those kids who was just like, older brother, please help me beat thing I can't do. He definitely, without him, I would have not beaten Final Fantasy IX on my, like, I'm doing air quotes, on my own. He definitely, I did all the play stuff, but he definitely helped me out a ton. He's like, hey, go here and get this spell, it'll help you out a ton. Stukov does go down, first blood over to the side of Cats on My Keyboard with an insanely deep invade onto this camp. They'll find the double kill. Cats on My Keyboard, that is a very deep gank that I did not expect from them. Getting the double kill, getting the camp, and getting a lot of siege through mid. No, it was never like that, Han. Did you guys hear, by the way, I was reading, I don't know how much validity there is to this or how much, like, stock you can put into it, but I was reading, I think it was on Twitter, that, is it Konami who made Parasite Eve? Apparently, like, Konami or one of those companies recently did some sort of, like, trademarking on a term, and I guess, like, it translates from, like, Japanese to, like, early Parasite or like early something. So like Parasite Eve is what they're kind of thinking, that like there's this rumor going around now that like they're making a new Parasite Eve. So maybe it was Squaresoft who like recently trademarked it. I'm sure someone could Google it in chat and find out. Like I don't know how true that is, but like I was just like, holy crap, like I remember my brother and his best friend, like they were like, I was staying over, like I was too young to be on my own, so I'd just go wherever they were. And they were playing Parasite Eve, and they spent so much time on the final boss. But I also think it was one of those things where they got to the final boss, and they also didn't have, like, enough equipment, and they were kind of in that, like, survival horror spot where, like, okay, we're at the final boss, we can't really backtrack for items, so I guess we just kind of just mash our face and hope for the best. I have like this vague memory of watching them play that game for hours. But a modern day Parasite Eve could be super cool, I think. Anyways, a lot of good damage going into the Nazeebo. He will fall. 57 stacks for Nazeebo, by the way. I'm sorry, there's not a single doubter in chat on this gamble. Wow. Well, if Nazeebo doesn't hit those stacks, those points are going to the void. Very aggro invade there. I would agree, yeah. Any mine throwers? Best weapon in the game? Wait, mine throwers in which game? I've listed many games recently. If it's Parasite Eve, I barely remember it. As I said, I have a vague memory of it, but it'd be cool. I mean, they're redoing, they're making, what is it, Silent Hill 2? Is it a remake or is it a remaster? Does anyone know? I know we're getting a remaster of Dead Space 1, which I kind of feel like we don't need, but whatever. I won't buy it anytime soon. Maybe next year or something, but. Top lane Webweaver still pushing in, favoring the side of Cats on My Keyboard. Nazeebo 61 stacks currently. And we'll cycle through the other numbers, get an idea of what those look like. I think Vala doubled back. I think she's got like 18 stacks or something. Yeah, she got 18 stacks on her level 1. Blaze in bottom lane pushing up against the Sonya. Things are going fine for him down there. 2 apiece in our kills, and things are looking even Stevens between the two teams. When it comes to at least that department. When we look at the structures, a lot more siege in favor for Cats on My Keyboard. Obviously, after their first weapon phase, they got a decent amount of value from that. They got the fort front gate down in mid. They got a lot of siege through top. Through mid, they got a lot more value, but they also had that early game invade onto the camp, so that did help push in the mid lane quite a bit. Mid lane kind of being an anchor point and a rotation point, so taking down this fort is really beneficial. But of course, top lane is typically our priority. Speaking of top lane, no one freed Harrison Jones. Unfortunate. I believe this is also a tournament matchup or a like end of the season matchup, so we can take a look after this map and see where everything sits in this division for, well, who's maybe making it towards the finals, because different divisions have kind of different layering or different schedules for their finals. Like I think Storm, Heroic, and Nexus are all staggered. Like they're staggered later than like divisions A through E, because I think you have the divisions A through E, like East and West, and then you have like your region finals, and then I think there's like the division finals, I believe. So there's a little bit more time for all of that. I do believe how the schedule works. But also I want to point out the Heroes Lounge games I do believe have started up, so we can start casting some EU games maybe next week or something. Actually, after I get back from vacation next week, I will be gone, which I am dreading. I just want to stay home and cast and stream games for you all, but I guess it's healthy to take breaks from time to time or something. 10 apiece in levels. Concussion Mine splitting back the Muradin, gets the Dwarf Toss out. And that'll be that. All right. 91 stacks for the Nazeebo. Getting some good value right there. More multi-shots out from Vala. She's at 31 right now, so she's got the jump in damage at the 20 mark. Gets a lot of damage on the Badger. Badger getting very low. Gets some healing out from the Sukop with the spin from Sonya. It's actually Valu finds the damage necessary. That's going to be a great zombie wall around the Blaze, and a lot of gems fall on the side of U.S. Army Esports. Bottom wave is looking good, but the turn-in availability exists to the side of Cats on My Keyboard. Yikes forever. Yikes forever indeed. Let's see, they have 13, 15, 4, 8. There you go. Wailing Arrow from Sylvanas connecting onto 3. A little bit of a jar tussed out by Nazeebo as well. Impale thrown on the ground by Badger. I think we just kind of hold here for the time being. Any major siege. We got top lane Webweaver, bottom lane. Oh, they're a little bit back, but mid lane's already cleared out. So what's going to be the call from Cats on My Keyboard? They've got a little bit of an experience advantage, actually a level lead, nearly a talent tier advantage. So you're going to take down the sidewall, keeping that that hatred, or excuse me, the rage up for her. Concussion Mine not getting the fishing that the Junkrat was looking for. Mid lane Fort still getting low. Top lane's got a huge wave on it. Bottom lane, Sonya pushing in. So we might see double Fort phase. Definitely at the rate that it's going, like Ghost and Crew, I think they can take down this top lane Fort. Spiders to be thrown out of Nubrek looking for the flank. That's going to be a good cocoon onto the Muradin. Steel trap right underneath the Muradin, so we should get immediately trapped after the end of the cocoon. Vala does go down. Vala getting punished in map number 3 here. Did they find the way to just... Did they find the Achilles heel of Cats on My Keyboard? It kind of feels that way. Take down the Vala and separate the rest. Ghost got an Ancestor healing that feels like it wasn't necessary. I felt like that Ancestor was like max health already, but either way, top lane Fort falls, bottom lane Fort falls. It's a triple Fort objective phase to the side of US Army Esports, who will go clear their waves. They'll get 13 talent tier. Neither team enough for a turn-in, but actually, US Army Esports, they are 10 gems away, and with the waves that are available, that should be enough for a turn-in. Will they Web Weaver plus Boss turn-in? The window is small as Muradin respawns here in 2 seconds. 56, Junkrat's got 23. You can actually show you exactly who's got what right now. And it is going to be 55 necessary out of the 58 in the pockets. The only one that doesn't need to turn in, technically, is Blaze. Blaze is technically the only one that doesn't need to turn in, but if everyone else turns in at once, that'll be enough. Fracture steps into the bush right now. That's going to be a Haunting Wave to back away. Healing Pathogen thrown out by the Stukov. All right. Badger so low, gets the W, has the spell shield, gets the burrow out as well. I believe that's the subterranean shield from level, ooh, 666 points of shielding, nice, very metal. Blaze to work on mid lane. Got the Burning Lads for the Nubarek as well. Okay. Ice Block Gazebo, 119 stacks for him. Believers got to be feeling pretty good because they don't want to lose their points to the void that is the no bet. I didn't see a Wailing Arrow. I don't think I saw a Wailing Arrow. Koala so very low. The Hunting Wave. There's the Riptire. Can the Riptire get the kill? Yes, it does. Sonya does go down. Ghost being chased. Anubarak does not continue as this is enough for a turn. And Murden's a little isolated from his team. He gets hit with a Steel Trap. That's going to be a burrow in on top of the Impale. Ancestor Healing will go out onto the Vala. Red is going to be able to get out of here. And the Vala goes inside the zombie wall. Somehow Blaze dies to Nazebo, probably the spiders from said Nazebo, and this is looking like a fight that looked okay-ish to the side of US Army Esports. Nice Haunting Wave from Fracture to back away from the Concussion Mine. Anubarak trying to get out of here. A lot of damage over time applied to him. The Nazebo, oh, actually the Rhaegar is going to be cocooned. Hungering Arrow split to the enemy team, and the spiders cannot bite enough. Now, with the Blaze Dead for 9, do they consider boss here, or is it just wave clearing for 16? I feel like it's the latter of the two. All right. Nice bottom lane. Nice bottom. Nice bottom from the side of Cats on My Keyboard. They got a real nice bottom in this map. Turn-in, though, is being attempted by the members of US Army Esports. The Stormbolt will go out. That's going to be the Dirty Trickster triggered on level 7. But here come the Web Weavers favoring the side of US Army Esports. I feel like this is just kind of creating a window, a gap, to get to 16 on the side of US Army Esports, as they really need to get that level against the enemy. And the waves are kind of pushed back, so I don't expect US Army Esports to find much siege value. This is mostly just to push out the waves, create a little bit of space, and find that 16. But look at this, Cats on My Keyboard, they're not giving that space. Murden, Dwarf tosses in, Flailing Swipes don't work out. That's going to be so much CC thrown in. Koala gets thrown over the wall by a Concussion Mine, saved by the Junkrat, bunker down from Blaze, and no kill to be had. But man, that aggression, that was a little scary. Murden with the heavy impact, the Dwarf launch, all that cooldown reduction, lands the Stormbolt immediately. I think that actually got the stall onto Stukov Flailing Swipes. I can't believe they actually didn't get a kill there. I'm quite surprised by the lack of kill that was had. 50 for the Vala, 139 for the Nazebo. So bottom lane Fort finally falling to the side of US Army Esports as they hit their 16 talent tier. Endless nades for the Junkrat. You've got the is it armor plating? Juggernaut plating, excuse me, for the Blaze, as Fracture is going to be over on the right side of our screen getting hit with the zombie wall. Spider's going out. That will be a multi-shot not connecting. Vala going to be inside a cocoon. You see the assist pings. Will this be a deletion onto Vala? Good utilization of the Junkrat over the far side of the wall with those endless nades and everything, just to get the poke damage, or at least the burst damage, I guess I would say, from the frag launcher. And 37 out of the 60 necessary for a turn-in. Boss is still up. We do have a throw pit available for these teams. 25 seconds on the Vala right now is Blaze, and the rest are just going to be trying to invade this camp over here. I like the call. Stormbolt from Muradin. Anubrak gets on the point, but it's actually a little too late. Badger doesn't get in with the burrow, as Koala is going to be split around, goes for the spin, able to back away, and I think this camp is cleared out before it really... Oh, actually, no, it's going to be able to enter into lane, as the big old slappy goes coming through from Nazeebo will expire. Simon and Fracture getting a little bit low right there. And the mid lane push does continue from the members of Cats on My Keyboard. They've got their Vala back. She still's got to make the rotation to the team. She'll be there in about 4 to 5 seconds. Now, will Nazeebo and the rest invade this camp? Junkrat showing with those frag launcher grenades. 40... I was trying to do math really quickly. I think they're at like 58. I think they're really close to a turn. I think this bottom wave will actually be enough for Koala to get the turn-in for the allies. 58 is in. Yeah, so they just need the 1 or 2 gems from this. And there's Sonya's going to be able to have it. So Sonya can actually turn in through the bottom, while the rest of the team maybe zones back the members of the U.S. Army Esports. Nubrak just looking for a blind burrow onto the Sonya, I think, bottom lane, and actually finds the cocoon onto her immediately, so it wasn't a blind burrow. Wailing arrows thrown out immediately, lurking arm as well. There was a Stormbolt from the Muradin. That's a very low Junkrat that does go down to the Nazeebo damage over time. 153 stacks for said Nazeebo. Top lane's got some good pressure mounting, and there's only 2 gems necessary from that Sonya to be turned in, and that Webweaver in top lane's going to be real deep into a structure with catapult value as well. So we got a Hearth out from Sylvanas. She should be able to clear the top lane. Oh, they're going to go boss turn. Okay. 22 on Junkrat. He has a lot of the boss area control, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, Lurking Arm is an option as well. But, yeah, the Concussion Mine's the big zoning tool that they have. So this will be boss plus turn in, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe looking for endgame here. We got a level to go for Cats on My Keyboard to take down the enemy. Excuse me, he's got a level to go for level 20 and might be able to take down that top lane. Keep the keep from gate already down as well. Got a boss. Sonya with the turn in. I'd like to see them run straight through top lane right now. I'd like to see Cats on My Keyboard just mount up and go straight to top. Push with boss. Slowly get that trickle in 20. Nazeebo at 170 stacks right now. Muradin, dwarf tossing in, has the launch. There's the Sonya leap in as well. Flailing swipes coming out from the Stuka, pushing back the enemy, but the Stormbolt will connect, and that will be Sylvanas going down. More experience over to the side of Cats on My Keyboard as they're looking for the 20 talents here. Webweaver's descending into lane. That's Blaze going to try and live, but he goes down, and that is the enough experience to get to level 20. Nazeebo, he's going to finish out. He might finish out the baseline, but I don't know if he's going to have enough for our gamble here. Top lane keep does go down. 25 minions necessary for that Nazeebo, but I think it's a core call right now. We've got damage onto the shielding. We've got Nazeebo gonna pop the ice block on the bottom of our screen. This is Ghost getting very low. Pops the... Oh my god, is able to get the Ravenous Spirit out in time, but that is going to be game, set, and match over to the side of Cats on My Keyboard. They take the series 2-1. GG, well played. That's what you get for playing Phoenix in map 1.